Nothing.
I bet you're surprised that I'm actually set up on the stream.
Oh, all right. Did
Yeah.
you? Yeah, because you said you had something
Yeah, I had
today.
something planned, but
Well, hey,
at least I'm
that
here, so.
works. Yeah. Well, hey, that works uh because we probably weren't going to play tomorrow anyway.
Okay. Or Monday.
Probably. I don't know about Monday.
Okay.
I don't know about Monday. Maybe Monday. I don't know.
All right. Yeah, I'll be right back. Hang on.
All right. Well then, so if Tessa doesn't get on,
Yeah.
that's gonna be a no from me, Chief.
Yeah, because, like, now... That's like 1/3 of the players gone.
Yeah, I mean, I guess technically we could continue and have her just knocked out, but then it's just going to be the end of the Starfinder campaign all over again.
Yeah.
Like, I know we joked about how that campaign was just the two sad boy adventure, but by the end, it really was just the two sad boy adventures.
I know. Like, the thing is, I'm pretty sure, like, I made that kind of joke, like, at the beginning.
Oh, yeah, no, it was because I think that was before we got everyone else on board. I think it was just because I was like, yo, because you know, you were like the one who was most into D&D. And I know Emily was also into D&D a good bit too, but like, you know, you like the story part of it. And yeah, I'm pretty sure, yeah, I told you, I was like, yo, I got this, it's like D&D in space. And then we made our characters. And then that's when you brought up the joke of the two sad boy adventure.
Yeah. So I guess I didn't anticipate that, like...
No, it didn't bang.
Everyone would leave, and then it would just be us, and it was sad.
Yeah.
The two sad boy adventure.
Xander was in that one.
He was?
He was. Yeah, because he was in there near the end, and it was... I remember because he had, like, a laser pistol thing.
All right. I don't remember a lot of that campaign. Like, I really don't. I remember our characters met at a library. I think Deselect was running the library.
Yeah.
I remember that we somehow got Emily and Tessa, who were both androids.
We found them on, like, a crash or a derelict ship or something.
And then we got Caleb somehow.
Yeah. I think Caleb was, like, I think they were all just, like, in space or something.
Right.
Maybe. I can't remember.
I can't remember, but then again.
I vaguely remember that the big thing with Caleb's character is everyone trying to inadvertently kill him. Or
yes.
Deselect trying to actually kill him, and everyone else just kind of going along with it.
Right.
Yeah, because he was annoying. Like his whole character was annoying. Like that was the entire point of his character, was just to be a high pitched voice and get on everyone's nerves, and everyone would try to kill him, and they would fail somehow.
Yeah. Like, some of it, like, you didn't even explain how we failed. It's just, we put him in the airlock, released the airlock, and suddenly he was just standing right next to us.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Like...
there were, like, we would ask, like, how did you do that? And he wouldn't give, like, an actual answer.
Yeah.
I think. I know, I vaguely remember that.
He'd be like, you will never know.
Like, there were
good Lord.
a couple standout things that I remember about that, like Deselect.
There we go.
getting under a coffee table, and despite being like 4 times the coffee table size, managing to hide under it.
Right.
When was that?
I have no idea. We were on, like, we were getting caught by some guards or something, and Cybrix became the wall or whatever. Everyone else just did something, and Deselect hid under a table.
I think now that you bring that up, I think I do vaguely remember. I wish we had recorded that, because I mean, I wish we recorded the old D&D campaign too.
Right.
But I can remember so much more about that than I can Starfinder.
I know.
Yeah,
the D&D before we started season 1 was badass. I wish I would have had the recording setup that I have now, but at least I get to record 2 seasons, so, you know, hey, it's all good. It's all good.
It's like Starfinder was more, quote, serious.
Because I remember in Starfinder, like of course we had like the goofy moments, because we always have goofy moments, even in the current D&D campaign, we've had our goofy moments, but Starfinder was a lot less goofier, or like we got into a lot of serious situations that we actually took seriously.
Yeah.
Like during the D&D campaign, I can't remember us taking many situations that seriously.
Yeah, it was kind of just screwing around. I do kind of apologize, because like my character and his backstory was just a lot of what made everything much less serious, just because of how garbage it was.
Oh yeah. Well, at the time, I loved your backstory for the simple fact that we kept making it more and more complicated.
Yeah.
Like that was like my favorite part about that backstory, because it was shit, but I love the fact that we found more and more ways to make it more and more complicated, but still find like the smallest detail that would somehow link it to the actual plot. So then we'd be like, see, look, we did it. It worked.
Yeah. Technically, yes, it did work.
Yes.
But it was
technically we found a way for it to connect to the plot, yes.
It was so just...
It was like the most Mary Sue, or Gary Stu thing. Just because it got so insane. I can't remember all of it. I just remember like Dacius was taken to hell,
and he overthrew hell.
Yeah, he got taken to hell because he was the one who killed the demon dragon in our in our like, you didn't get to see it, but here's what happened after we ended the campaign.
Yeah.
He was the one who killed the demon dragon, and then he got taken down into hell, and then his like body morphed, I think, because he was taken down to hell or something.
The thing is like all of that was objectively terrible, and all of it, or most of it, was like my idea. But at the very least, I don't think it necessarily hurt anything, or at least it didn't feel like it at the time.
Oh no, it didn't. It didn't hurt the campaign at all, because one, we never got to a point where where that actually came into play for anything,
and
but
also like
because it was a backstory, it didn't affect the main, like what was going on around us.
And even at the time, because of course the way I always looked at it was just like, I'm a lot younger than you. I was like 13 at the time. So looking back at it, I was kind of just like, he's probably just letting me come up with all this wild shit. Like, which like I'm grateful for, because as much as it was terrible, it was definitely fun to like come up with all that stuff.
Oh no, I was a lot less refined, I will say. I was a lot less refined back then, because that was back when I wrote that one story, and for the first writing contest, and then I just kept writing it until I graduated. But when I look at it now, I can definitely tell that it was my first time trying to write something like that, because I'm like, oh, ew, this is objectively not good.
That was my first time really coming up with a character's backstory, or a character.
Well, I think and of course, I completely understand why it went this way, because it's that idea like, oh, but if I can rework the character for this situation, then it would be really cool. Because I think like the first red flag was making it still Dacius.
Yeah.
Because that was the thing where Deselect wasn't technically his own character. It was Dacius. It's just he forgot everything.
Yeah, and the thing is like they weren't even necessarily opposites.
No, they really weren't.
Like the only place where they were opposites is Dacius was a pacifist and Deselect was the complete opposite of that. But in like everything else, they weren't the same, but it didn't really make sense.
Like they were personality wise, they were almost identical.
Yeah, like they were somewhat different, but it's not like they were on completely opposite, sides. But it's like back when it was just Dacius, it was still not very good, but it was a lot better because it was a lot more grounded. When Deselect was added to the picture, and I started adding in like overthrowing hell and going to whatever dimension in the fucking Shadow Realm and Shadow Realm 2.0, the Dusk.
That's what it was called.
And it's like there are individual ideas like in all of that I liked. Like Dacius, like on his own, I liked the name and I liked the character design that I had in my head, not those awful pictures that I drew in Microsoft Paint.
They weren't awful. I have seen much worse. Those were not terrible.
It is kind of weird because it's like I literally can't draw Dacius anymore. Like I've just kind of given up at this point. I think it's just because I've thought, or I don't necessarily have a clear idea of what he actually looks like. I always, like in my head, I always kind of flip-flop between what he looks like depending on how I'm thinking of him.
Yeah, that's fair. To be honest, it wasn't until very recently that I had a clear picture of what Gander looked like in my head.
Yeah.
Like I had a general idea of how I wanted him to look.
Like a lot of the more like stand out features. It's just a lot of the more specific bits I don't have. And I've also been fighting with myself on whether to make him look like more or less bug-like.
I've always imagined him, like, of course I used your old pictures as reference, and I still kind of use your old pictures as like the reference in my head. I make his head slightly smaller I only say slightly because I do think his head should still be like fairly big because I think that just looks better, but not as big as it originally was. I've always given him like blue eyes. I think his original eye color was purple, but I don't know. When I've thought of him recently, I've given him blue eyes.
Yeah, like,
and his like exoskeleton's all black.
Oh,
that's what I've imagined him as black.
I've definitely always imagined him with having like some kind of dark, dull color. Because I remember the original one was like a dark gray.
Yeah.
To be honest, I haven't really thought of the color. What messes me up, like always, is trying to think about his eyes. Because, like, of course they're supposed to be like compound eyes, like what an ant has. But I would always draw him kind of like with eyelids so that he can have facial expressions. But that only really works in that sort of art style. You know,
I've always imagined him with like eyelids, like even if biologically it doesn't make a whole lot of sense. I
think I should just kind of try to suspend my disbelief and just say that he has eyelids because nothing else about him makes sense. Like he shouldn't be able to talk in the way that he does.
Yeah, exactly, and it's just because like there are a lot of situations where I imagine him with a certain expression, like because he is a very expressive character.
Yeah, so I should just try to, if I want to even try to draw him again, try to like pin down what exactly he looks like. I guess another thing is every time I think about drawing him, I always wonder like what mood would I set for the drawing. Like I don't want it to be like sad, but that's mostly what he's been.
So typically, it depends on the situation he's in, but typically when it's like Dacius, where like nothing depressing has happened, like nothing depressing has just happened to him. It's just one of those times where maybe he might be thinking about it or something, or he's contemplating something. He always has sort of that like bored side eye look to him. That's what I've always meant. Like he's got a flask in his hands. He's got that look as he's downing it because he's thinking about things.
Yeah, but so I don't know. I do kind of think, even though I like Dacius's character much more than Desilex, I am really excited to redo Desilect because he was he needed a lot more done to actually be tolerable.
I'm excited to redo Cybrex too, even though like I can't remember much about Cybrex besides the fact that he would be sarcastic a lot. But I'm excited to deepen him, just like I deepened Gander, because again, before the current campaign, Gander was just lawful good paladin from the future. That was his entire character, pretty much.
I do kind of want to figure out a reason that Desilect is the way he is.
I could help with that if you'd like.
I was thinking, I don't necessarily know if I want his reasoning for wanting to do what he does to be sad. Like, I'm kind of thinking that he was like scared into thinking into the way that he is, which would also kind of explain why he's so like absolute about it. Like, up until the campaign, nothing was able to change his mind.
Because he thinks that like everyone should be placed into like a job and do that job forever.
So it's going to be interesting, like for at least for me to try and figure out what could scare him into thinking like that. And of course, I'm still going to be open to like whatever ideas you have, because your ideas are probably going to be better than mine. I feel like it'll be decent practice on my part.
Yeah, I'm just trying to think about what because that's a weird situation to be scared into getting that philosophy. Like something sad happening and him being like changing his mindset into that would be easier to come up with, but I want to see how you could do that to where he could be scared into thinking like this is how things must be.
Yeah, and I am definitely considering doing something like sad, just because that would make him more like relatable, but at the same time, I don't know. Like, I guess it's because I feel like something really sad would have to happen to have like that extreme kind of beliefs. Of course, okay, I shouldn't be getting too like technical with it because this campaign is supposed to be a bit less serious than the D&D one, so I don't think I have to make it 100% airtight. You know, because like I don't think we're going to actually sit here and really get into how messed up it is that Deselect like murdered someone and used their brain to make an AI.
No, I wasn't planning on going into that aspect of it. I was going to focus more on the duality of both AIs, of his AI and Sarah. By the way, do you want his AI to kind of like take a form like Sarah does, or do you want it to just kind of be like it doesn't have a form but it can still like speak?
What do you mean a form?
So like I guess Sarah
I think we're I don't think we're playing tonight. I mean, here I will ping just to make sure she didn't forget or something, but so we'll just wait and see. But for Sarah, she's not just like some computer program put into the ship or like in Cybrix's like wrist communicator. She has like a holographic form that she takes.
Okay, yes.
Like Cortana.
I think so. I really like the idea of you saying that this AI would be more emotional.
Right.
I forgot we were having sorry.
Come on.
That is
Tessa.
all right. We were having a fun chat.
Right.
But I really like the idea of like Deselect's AI being more emotional, because it just makes more sense, because it was made directly out of a person, like a person's consciousness, but also because it was made by Deselect, and while he's intelligent and all that, he doesn't have like the tools to make an AI as flawless as like Sarah.
Yeah.
You know.
Well, the thing too was I was
and also
I was kind of going to explore that of like how quote unquote perfect Sarah is, because I said the reason she was not given any like simulated emotion is because they wanted her judgments to be more objective, to be like, you know, scanning all the possible outcomes. This is the best outcome through, you know, what I register. But I was thinking with your Desilex AI, it would be there would be a moment, I don't know when, but where Sarah would be calculating what to do and basically not being able to come up with a solid solution to the problem, because there's multiple things they could do and each one has the same success rate. But then Desilex AI basically tells her to stop it with all of this like thinking and just do it. Do one of them. Go on. Like I was specifically thinking of a conversation between the two where Desilex AI was basically telling her why it thinks the way it does. Like, yes, you know, it was programmed to have Desilex philosophy, but at the same time, instead of just being like, yeah, I was programmed this way, it actually gives a line of thinking to why it has that philosophy. And it basically, it's because this philosophy wants to change things.
Yeah.
And basically also criticizing the Intergalactic Defense Garrison by saying, like, sure, you may help prolong incidents across the universe, but you never stop them. There will always be criminals throughout. We are trying to change that.
Yeah.
And that would, and that would have Sarah start to question her own perfection and what she was programmed to think of as right. And I think that would be very interesting to have the AIs go on their own arcs.
Yeah.
As Cyrix and Desilex. So while we're just talking about Starfinder stuff, Tessa, have you thought about your Starfinder character?
What?
I said, have you thought about your Starfinder character? Because we're just kind of talking about Starfinder. I honestly might just have today just be a talk about Starfinder and prepare for that day.
I've thought about it. I still don't know though.
All right, because I think last time you were an android, I think.
Yeah, last time I was an android.
Yeah. Would you still like to be an android, or would you like to be some other thing?
Yeah, I want to be an android.
All right, cool. Have you thought about have you thought about whether they are a criminal or if they are part of the Intergalactic Defense Garrison, aka the Space Cops?
I want to be a criminal.
Okay.
Ooh.
So that'll be interesting. Have you thought about what their personality will be?
Violent.
Well, all right.
Ex-Chana.
Yeah. Murder bot designation. Shauna Lay.
Lashana MK35 Generation 6. No, MK35 Generation 6 Series 24.
Mecha Lashana.
Yeah, version 0.1. I feel like it's
I'm just imagining it's literally just a metal Lashana.
With the elf ears and everything.
Yes. Yeah, but like the elf ears are actually the vents.
Yeah. Oh my lord.
She, instead of a chain with a dagger strapped to it, she has a chainsaw that she straps onto a laser sword.
Yeah.
That sounds fun.
She's gonna go full Space Marine and get a chain sword.
Yes.
Artemis is trying to have a peaceful, like, she's trying to stop this planets of war with peace and everything, and just Robo Lashana's in the background cutting up people from both sides.
Yeah.
And she turns, she's like, wait, what are we doing? Oh, we're not trying to kill them?
We're trying to stop them from killing each other. Apparently, I missed some things.
Yeah. They can't kill each other if they're dead.
Yeah. They can't cause a war if everyone's dead.
She just continues.
How about these sissies, instead of fighting each other, how about they fight me?
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. All right.
That's the new arc.
Which one of you flatfoots think you can take me?
That's gonna be the you're gonna call that story arc "We're Fucked."
Yeah, the arc. So we have just made it to the We're Fucked arc.
The FARC, if you will.
Yeah. Yeah. You see, after Silver Lashana started murdering all of the
Chrome Lashana.
Yes, after Chrome.
It's gonna be like this SpongeBob episode where Squidward experiences a Lovecraft novel.
After Chrome Lashana starts killing all the planet's inhabitants, Artemis decides, screw it, because peace won't work anymore, and decides to join in. Leaving Cybrix as the only one to try to uphold justice.
Yeah, because I feel like, depending on where that would take place in the story, Deselect would just try and take advantage of it.
Yeah, he'd be like, yes, my time.
All right, everyone, please get into a single file line to war.
Yes. As he's trying to slink off so he can plug his AI into the nearest mainframe.
I'm yelling at one of my friends on Twitter because they're simping over some guy from TikTok, and they're gay, and so is he.
Well then,
why are you yelling at them?
Because they like women.
I thought you said that they were both gay.
Yeah. That's why
my friend's not a guy.
Oh. Okay.
Well, what was there? There was this one meme. I can't remember what it said, but there was something on the screen, and it was like, this is so stupid that it made all my gay friends straight, or something like that. I can't remember what it was, but it made me laugh.
What makes it even funnier, though, is they messaged the group chat that we're in together about it first. And what makes it better is the group chat's name is Sugar Tits, and I just find it funny.
Oh, wow.
I just thought of, like...
Sugar Tits. I just thought of, like... group chat name.
I just thought of the worst joke.
What?
The lines I draw are so not straight, they have to be sent to camps to get better.
Oh my god. that is horrible.
Wait, do those like I just said camps because I couldn't remember what they were called. What were they called? The camps they'd send like anyone who wasn't heterosexual to become heterosexual, and from what I remember, it never worked.
Oh, I know it, but I can't remember it.
Yeah, do they still have those?
Probably in certain countries.
Well, like, I mean, in like the United States.
Oh, I don't know.
I imagine on like a government level it isn't allowed or anything, but I would figure there like might still be some.
I mean, probably.
Or they might be like camps that are disguised as something else, you know.
Hunter, title this episode the filler episode. because we're probably not gonna play the game tonight. We're having fun.
Yeah, it's also going to be the beach episode.
Oh yeah,
nothing happens.
The beach episode.
Yeah,
just 3 characters.
Yeah.
Well, okay, maybe we will actually get to the port today. So yeah, that will be the beach episode. Just without any sand.
You know, we have to have we have to all go for a swim. It's going to be a leisurely time at the port.
Yeah.
Everything's been sad up until this point, so why don't we all get probably eaten by something, even though we're just right outside the port. They just haven't dealt with any of the sea serpents.
The giant squid. Oh no, tentacles. The beach episode.
I think my dog wants you guys to tell her hi. She keeps looking over at my computer and whining.
Hello, dog.
Hello. Man.
I know enough about Japan to know where this is going.
Yeah, if this series were actually really popular, I would hate to see the R34 on it.
The fan art. Oh, do you know? If the series was popular, you know the types of fan art that would already be out there.
Oh my lord!
I have a feeling some of it would have to do with Xander and his ex-wife, because I forgot what his character's name was.
Nigel,
that's right.
I don't want to see what would happen to my boy.
I mean, I'm just gonna say it. Knowing the internet, he would be paired with Gander.
Oh yeah.
He would be paired with Athena, and he would be paired with Gander. That's
maybe even with Jellica at certain points.
Yeah, and Grom at certain points.
Oh
man,
I just remembered the other character.
Oh no,
Mariella.
Oh.
But it's technically legal. Technically.
Yeah, that's what they say. They would.
She looks 12, but she's actually 1,000 years old. The reason you get a pass on that is because we're not screwing Mariella. In fact, no one is anymore.
Because I didn't make it weird, and I also explained it in the story because it's how he doesn't remember her.
Yeah, and there's no visual element to this anyways,
Yeah.
So, no, but people would bring the visual element to it, Oh.
Man. You know,
yeah, there's a dragon too.
Yeah, despite how cool it would be if we had fan art made of our series, it would be both a blessing and a curse.
Yeah, really now. I would... I think the worst thing is like, if we did get fan art, the more we would talk about this, the more Rule 34 would begin to actually exist.
Course.
And the thing is, I feel like it would get to a point where people would be like telling us about it too.
Oh, of course. Oh, it's because whenever people say, "Don't draw my characters doing this," that's going to have more people be like, "Oh, I'm gonna do it."
Yeah.
And before I wasn't going to make it super explicit, but now,
oh man,
here we go.
They're really going at it. Like,
this should be illegal what they're doing.
It probably is.
Oh my god.
I was thinking like, oh, I just won't look for it, and then I realized, then like if I ever make a Twitter account and people figure out it's connected to this,
everyone's gonna be like, dude, look at this.
Look at this really cool art I made. Can I send it to you? Oh, sure. Oh.
I feel like if we did like streams where we just looked through all the fan art,
no, we're not doing that.
Yeah, I know, but everyone would be freaked out, but it would get to the point where I would just look at it, everyone still be freaking out. I'd be like, at the very least, the line work, the line work is actually quite good. I'm disgusted, but
this is literally the worst thing I've ever seen. But I mean, those facial expressions.
Yeah, the quality of the art is there. It's just what's being depicted.
It have to be
this is literally about to make me vomit, but in a way, that's where the comes in. Like, I feel like I'm Decius and I'm really there. Please stop sending me this art. I hate you.
D&D. Hold on.
And for those who keep drawing Lashana with her sister, please stop. Just get some help, please.
Yeah.
Please get some help.
Yeah.
I wanted to kill her for most of the whole thing.
Don't give them that. No, don't give them that idea. Don't say you'll be killing her, because then.
But not when they're siblings.
That won't stop them from drawing them in that way. They'll just draw them with the murder.
Oh no!
No.
Oh no!
Oh man, you thought the stuff Shadman drew was bad. It was, but this is going to be about on the same level.
And then we would, of course, get to the best, the fanfics.
Oh.
I remember when you used to read fanfic.
Yeah. We'd get on stream or we'd record.
Yes.
I remember getting 100 some views with that one garbage video. Deltarune, whatever fan-fiction.
Yes, I would. Wasn't it Doki Doki Literature Club?
There was that too. There was.
The fanfiction.
I don't remember if it was, because it might have all been the same video. I don't think it was. I think the Undertale one and the Doki Doki Literature Club one, they were separate. I think.
I would love reading it out loud because I know no one would spell their names right. so I would pronounce their names as they spell them.
Yeah, we're never going to like talk about the characters in text, so they never know how the names are actually spelled.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my lord. You know, that is a good point. Like, Gander, Dacius, and Lashana are pretty, like, names.
Yeah, like especially Dacius, because like Lashana and Gander you can sound out, so you can have a basic idea of how they are probably spelled. But Dacius, I doubt most people would spell it right.
Yeah, like whenever I was making that name, I just really wanted to use like the AE instead of the AY.
Oh yeah, I think it looks much better too.
Oh yeah. I mean, I'm maybe a bit too proud of the name because it is just
it's a good name. I really like it. I mean, compared to all the names for the characters that I have to come up with on the spot.
I think it does kind of fit that he has a weirder name anyways, because not just because he's an architect, but also like if any of the other characters were from his time, they'd probably also have weird names.
Yeah, like
what was Mariella's actual name?
Margaret.
Margaret.
I don't think I gave. Oh, I did give her a last name. Margaret Silva was her full name.
Okay, yes, that is like an odd name. I don't think I ever really gave Dacius like a last name. I had like placeholders. But it's like
there are certain characters here that I didn't give last names to, like the Shadow Troop members. I did not give last names to.
Yeah. I guess a lot of it is just because I can't ever decide like what the architect's last name, like naming convention would be. I really want to say that it would just be a bunch of letters or numbers or something, but they're not like in the future. So I've been trying to think what would be utilitarian but still kind of fantasy-esque. And also why would they even have last names if they're probably all related through blood?
That's right.
Because they're insects.
The weirdest names I have are for the dwarves.
Oh.
Like Lane Hrumgel. It is spelled Hrumgel. Curtis Yervik.
Dwarves in any like fantasy universe always get weird names.
I know,
and a weird language.
I know, that's why I gave them weird names. Durkin Moodell.
Wow.
And this isn't a dwarf. This is the one gnome buddy of theirs, Lorenzo Kopp. Kopp is how you spell that.
That is not what I heard.
That's awful. The R34 isn't happening yet, Tessa.
What else? What's another strange name? Oh yeah, I gave last names to characters that we would never hear their last name. Like the warden. His full name was Carden Heathston. Heathston. What else? Oh no! Stop! Don't do that. That's not good. Terry Yowville. That is Terry's full name. That's right. Arthur's full name, Arthur Curry. That is his name.
Arthur Curry.
Yes. I think that might be an act.
Jim Curry.
Jim Carrey. There we go.
I am going to the one place that hasn't been corrupted by capitalism. Space!
What is this, our BS campaign? That was the best. The BS campaign, so stupid. We have to stop capitalism. From the Quaker Oats man.
Ronald McDonald gets sucked into the fucking abyss.
Yes. I'm sad that you missed the Ugandan Knuckles arc.
I'm not. I am glad I missed that.
But he sacrificed himself.
Good. I wish he would have done it like immediately for no reason.
He was Nigel's best buddy.
Glad he died too. Jeez. Twice. That's what you get for siding with Ugandan.
You died.
Nigel did really die twice, though.
Yes, he did. He did.
Man, his KD ratio compared to everyone else's is awful.
And what's worse is the second time it was by us.
Yeah. The first time it was just him. The first time it was him protecting us.
Like, the first time
it
was a heroic sacrifice to protect us because we were the only things left in his life that he actually slightly cared for.
Oh, man.
And then he got corrupted by Yami's influence.
Got corrupted by capitalism.
I mean, kind of, since Yami is the demon dragon and the capitalist dragon in the BS campaign was supposed to be the counterpart of Yami. So technically, yes.
Oh, man.
He was. That I'm thinking back. That's right, the Pringles man. It was
hold on.
Mr. Monopoly. Ronald.
I need to send you a video of who the Pringles man should have been like.
Okay.
Have you ever seen Pilot Red Son?
I have not.
Oh my lord. His stuff is... I cannot explain it to you. You will have to witness it for yourself. And I'm going to send this to you in DMs because I'm not insane, I promise. I swear. Just please don't contact my psychologist. They will disagree.
All right, I will contact them in secret. All right, just give me a sec. Oh no.
They keep simple. Anyway.
All right. Well then, that was an experience. I will never look at a canister of Pringles the same. Anyway,
I don't think I want to know.
No, I probably don't.
I do have an interesting conversation that I can share, though, if you want to hear it. That
sure.
The Sugar Tits group chat talked about today.
I love that name.
You want to hear an interesting conversation that we had in the Sugar Tits group chat one day?
Of course. Why would I not want to hear an interesting conversation in the Sugar Tits group chat?
Because we're very weird. We are a very, very weird bunch.
Oh, I mean, that just comes with the territory of Sugar Tits. Not that I would know or anything.
Anyway, I do want to inform you before I tell you what this conversation was about, that I'm the one who started the conversation.
Oh boy.
So, we had a very interesting conversation one day about, and this isn't even the original conversation that I am going to share. This is just a slight backstory and how the conversation ended up happening. The day before the one I was talking about, we were having a conversation about, since Medusa's hair is snakes, would her pubes be snakes? Then the next day I brought up the question, did anybody else ever think of the fact that if Medusa turned a naked man to stone, she could have a forever sex toy?
I don't think anyone's thought about that.
I think the second one, you would probably be surprised, but I don't think anyone has thought the first one.
I mean, apparently we did, because the whole group chat actually, no. The whole group chat did not get involved. It was basically just a conversation between me and Dee, with the rest of the group chat watching.
Well, then. I mean, those are valid questions. Well, I guess the second one isn't a question. It's just kind of a statement.
But the fact that made it funnier, though, was the fact that in the whole conversation, we had the conversation for about 10 minutes, and then in the span of 3 messages directly after, the new, Disney Pixar movie, Luca, we went from talking about Medusa having a stone sex toy to crying over Luca.
I have not. Is Luca good?
It's amazing. I loved it.
I haven't heard anything about it. Well, I mean, I knew it was coming out, but I haven't heard anyone review it or anything. So it looked interesting.
Yeah, it was really good. I liked it. But yeah, we went from a conversation about Medusa having a sex toy to Luca.
Well, that's wonderful.
And the same person that I've been yelling at for the last couple minutes because they keep simping over a man and they're gay. I cannot speak. I don't know why. But the same person will just randomly message this group chat out of absolutely nowhere. It'll have been silent for hours. Just out of nowhere, message in all caps, just the word titties. And then we'll just start having random conversations from there.
Well then, I mean, hey, it's in the territory.
But before it was named this, the group chat was literally just the corn emoji. Was the name.
Corn.
What a title change. Going from corn to Sugar Tits. I would
corn tits as opposed to flour tits.
Don't. If you look that up, I am sure you will find something. That's the best group chat name I've ever heard.
Oh my lord.
Anyway, who's ready to play some D&D?
Yeah. 8:30. It's been an hour.
Yeah, well, because we could just be talking about random shit for the rest of the time if we wanted to, but I think we should get to Port Honolulu. I wish that's what I called it.
You might be able to use at some point.
I wish I could have called it that, but no, I went with Nautilus because it's a cooler name.
Nautilus.
Past me. If I could name all the times I wish I could go back in time to past me and just slap him.
Yeah, same. Really. We were just talking about like Deselect and Dacius's like, well, I guess Dacius's future story and Deselect's like past story. If I could have like strangled myself over that, I could put that into the story.
Remember when I told you how I made my universe too big?
Yeah.
In my one story, and I told you how it's like hurt it a lot. I wish I could go back in time and just keep smacking my younger self until he realized, no, that's a stupid idea. Just end the story.
Oh, that would be a great story. You could add that into the story, like the main character going back in time, because time travel really tightens things up, and strangling the main character for some unexplained reason.
I mean, there is time travel in that story. Anyway, in the fact
alternate dimensions.
Yes.
Time traveling between alternate dimensions. I'll take that as a yes.
Kinda. Yeah, things get weird. But what's funny is the time travel stuff is so far the only stuff I'm still working on, because I've just kind of lost all motivation to actually end it. So I'm just doing the time travel stuff right now, where they go back in time to make sure the time isn't altered, which in and of itself alters time. Because, yes. All right. Now then, it's time to roll some dice.
Maybe.
Yeah, maybe. roll 1d20. If you get a 20, we will play. If not, we will keep talking.
Hi, Callie.
Are you actually?
I think that was close enough.
That was very close. All right. So, we continue
to roll initiative.
Yeah. Okay, now you gotta attack, see how much damage you can pull off. If you can land 20 damage.
Yeah. You gotta defeat the conversation.
Yeah.
Okay, seriously.
Yeah, okay. So, we continue from where we left off, where we are on Ishtar, and we have flown away from the capital, and everyone is just kind of relieved. They have a large feeling of relief now, because now that they are flying away from it back on Ishtar, they realize how just kind of congested it was down there. Being trapped in that castle, having to deal with this whole possible war that could have happened. But now they were free out in the sky. But unlike every other time throughout their journey, this time they had a clear goal. Go to Port Nautilus, meet up with Durrell, and find out how to end the dragon cult once and for all and put an end to this forever. Gander is very quiet.
Hey, Gander. You alright?
Oh, yeah, I'm fine. No, I'm not fine.
I figured.
You know, I've really been thinking. Ever since I started this quest, I knew very well that I wouldn't come back after finishing it. I thought that things would be better this way. As long as I could save the future, make everything bright again, then it was worth it. But I know it's selfish of me, but I don't know if I want that to happen.
No one really wants that to happen. If there were any way for us to, keep you alive even after you're supposed to fade off into the abyss or whatever it is that you'd be doing, we do that. But
I know there is no way. They informed me before I was sent that this was irreversible.
Well, I mean, we could at least look into it. I mean, of course, if whoever it was powerful enough to send you back in time, they probably know what they're talking about, but it wouldn't be the craziest thing to happen, right?
Yeah.
And maybe we won't find any way to, keep you, but I guess know this. The alternative would be everyone dying, including you. And yeah. I know you don't want us to, you don't want to put us through, mourning you. But, well,
no,
at the very least, there'd be people left to mourn.
You're right. You're right. There's greater things. That's why I came back here in the first place.
But hey, we still got a little time until then. I wouldn't expect you as, I guess, yeah, as young as you are to
take the dog out.
Not have the idea of death constantly on your mind, but it ain't quite coming yet. Not for you, at least.
You're right. Thanks.
Hey. It's no problem.
And he takes a deep breath in, but a smile does cross his face, and he simply looks up at the sky. He stays quiet for the rest of the flight. However, Dacius did kind of look over at him as they were flying just to make sure, and sure enough, he was still smiling the whole time.
Hey, would you mind if we swung by Concord? I know it's a bit off course, but...
Oh, certainly.
All right.
and they eventually see Concord below them, and Dacius tells Ishtar to go back down. And once they land down in the middle, a great sense of nostalgia hits all three of them. It's been so long since they've been here. It almost feels like a second home, Concord.
Oh, Lord. All right. I've got a couple things on my mind we should do here. First, wait a minute. That Arthur guy, wasn't he the son of the leader of the Adventurers Guild?
Yes. I think you're right.
Oh, Lord. Okay. Alright. It's probably going to be a while until Athena and the rest can get any guards down here to Concord. I was thinking of making a bit of a ruckus in the Adventurers Guild, trying to see if anyone's seen anything or if anyone can keep their eye out. I think it might also be best to tell the guy about his son.
That sounds like a good course of action.
All right.
So they all dismount and they make their way towards the guild. And as they open the doors, hold on, there we go. The receptionist, Clarice, her eyes widen. She puts her hands over her mouth as she sees the three enter. You're back.
Yeah.
It's been quite a while.
Oh, and do we have something to tell you? And some things to ask you as well.
Of course. You're some of our top-ranked adventurers, after all.
All right. First, has there been any more dragon cult activity around here?
There have been a few sightings, but ever since you all went out and dealt with them before, they've been quickly dealt with by the other adventurers.
Oh, thank goodness. Yeah, we just had a massive problem with some supporters of the dragon cult up in the capital, as in, there is no main castle really anymore. There is a fairly sized hole.
Her eyes were wide, and her mouth was slightly open, just agape. And while they're talking, I'm imagining Lashana is just kind of walking around the guild hall, and if anyone gives her, like, there's some people who kind of give her looks because, I mean, she's so young and tiny, but as soon as they would give her a as soon as they would give her a look, she'd give them a look back, and they'd immediately back off.
So yeah, there were cultists in the capital. In fact, big member of the cult, at least I assume, this pretty big demon, was kind of maybe sort of puppeteering the entire kingdom. I mean, he's dead now, along with the king and the queen, and a lot of other people, actually. But, yeah, so we were pretty worried that things were getting worse down here.
And she took a minute to regain her composure. Well, it certainly sounds like you all have been through a lot.
Yeah, you know another thing, you know the Shadow Troop?
Yes, they're the most notorious assassins in the entire kingdom.
Yeah, well, you might need to send their fan mail elsewhere. Because, I'll be entirely honest, I don't know where they went, but they're not here.
I see. Well then.
But yeah, just, tell everyone to keep an extra eye out. I know things are going pretty good here, but still, some of the demons that are a part of the cult could very easily level this place. And I don't think any of us want that to happen.
I'll make sure to keep an eye out.
All right, thank you. Hey, Gander.
Yes?
You think I'm bragging a bit too much about defeating the Shadow Troop?
No. It was a very hard-fought battle.
Well, normally I would feel awful about these things. But just... And I know they were actual people with, something, obviously there was a reason they were a part of the Shadow Troop, but at the same time, I shouldn't be so glad that they're gone, but I am very glad.
I understand that feeling completely.
Well, oh Lord,
could we see the guild leader, please? We do have some news he should hear. Of course. He's just upstairs. Thank you. And he kind of motions Dacius along. Because he knows Dacius really does not want to tell him. So I'm imagining Lashana does not follow them. She's having fun, just kind of giving everyone looks, and they know who she is because we are the top group in the guild. So. They know who she is, so everyone is just kind of as soon as she walks over, they're all kind of starting to freak out. See her just kind of at a couple tables she walks by, she kind of takes her new chain saw blade and starts kind of swinging it around, So Gander and Dacius go upstairs, and they see the leader sitting at his desk. And as he sees them walk up, his eyes light up. You're You're back! I'm gonna be honest, I thought you all might have died.
Oh no. We've been continuing to deal with the dragon cult. Speaking of, we have some bad news.
Oh, I see your party is smaller.
It's not just that. One of the higher ups in the capital, I guess kind of like the right-hand man to the king, was a demon who was helping the dragon cult and, manipulating the king and all that good stuff. And we had to fight him, and the guards tried to help. One of the guards, his first name was Arthur, he had said that you were his father, and, well, he fought well, but I'm sure you know why he isn't here with us to tell you about it.
And he kind of chuckles to himself a little bit. I knew that boy would grow up to do great things.
You do know what I'm trying to get at by saying he isn't here.
Of course.
Okay.
When you're in this line of business, death is commonplace. I couldn't tell you how many adventurers of our guild have sadly passed on.
Oh, you have no idea how good that is to hear. Like, the past, month and a half have been absolutely awful. Like, oh my lord. Well, yes, he definitely fought well. In fact, he was the only reason we were able to begin fighting that demon. The only reason we escaped the capital's dungeon and got our stuff back.
Well, I'm just glad that he was able to go out fighting the good fight.
Oh, man.
I do thank you for approaching me with this news.
Well, we thank you for taking it so lightly, considering the circumstances.
No problem at all. Of course, it is disheartening to hear, but
well,
I can take solace in the fact that he grew up to be a true adventurer.
If it makes you feel any better, that demon is long dead.
Well, I would think so. I wouldn't think you all would still be here.
Oh, hopefully there should be less cult activity in the capital. That was another thing I was going to talk to you about.
Yes, yes, I have noticed. Thanks to your efforts, there have only been a few groups of cultists that have snuck their way into town. But luckily, our local adventurers dealt with them as they saw fit.
Okay. Well,
and Dacius, he kind of looks in behind his desk, and he sees that they actually had a cultist robe just kind of hung up on the wall?
Okay. You probably should still keep an eye out, because I have no idea what the cult situation is now, but I don't imagine they're going to be pretty happy having, like, 2 of their biggest assets gone.
I understand. Once again, I thank you.
All right. Well, I think we're going to go back out into the town. There are some people we're going to be gathering up to take to Port Nautilus and hopefully hunt down the rest of the dragon cult.
I wish you all safe travels.
Thank you.
It was nice seeing you again. And they both go back downstairs, and they notice that everyone in the guild is cowering in their seats, and Lashana has the biggest grin on her face, and Dacius and Gander didn't have to ask to notice what probably happened while they were gone.
All right, Lashana, let's go.
Okay.
She happily starts skipping outside, but right before she leaves, she gives like a death glare to every single person in the room, and then leaves.
Oh, yeah, don't worry, everyone.
Only scare them enough to shit their pants, but not actually do anything.
That's nice. And he whispers to Dacius, please, make sure I never get on her bad side.
I don't know if that's up to me. I'll try and help you, but...
If any of you make her mad, it's all guys for themselves.
Yeah, really. I mean, the game's just going to be over right then and there.
Yeah.
Pretty much. The dragon cult, the demon dragon, they don't have shit on Lashana.
All right.
And remember, she has like 3 poisons now.
She only needs about a half of one, but she has 3.
Yeah.
5 more halves than she needs. Imagine what she could do with all that poison.
There goes the entire town's water supply.
That's fun.
Any ideas?
The whole town's water supply.
Oh, no. So
setting it on fire. Ooh, make explosive out of the poison. That sounds fun.
Oh no.
All right.
So they go back outside, and they walk back to Ishtar before they begin to plan their what they're going to do next.
All right, Gander. So I'm thinking of trying to find Curtis.
Well, he would be back at the mountain, wouldn't he?
Yeah. Well, okay, yeah, they did say that they were... Okay. I was thinking, like, I remember them, we were at some... Actually, we're in some tavern a bit, like, outside of Valencia, so I don't think we were anywhere near here. Well...
That was a month ago.
Yeah. It's definitely been nice to come back here.
Yes, at least for this short time.
Actually, there is one last thing we can do here. We both have 1,000 gold, right?
Yes.
You think that merchant is still hanging out on the outside of the,
Well, we could always go and see.
All right, let's go.
So they walk over towards the beginning of town, and they go down that one alleyway. And sure enough, Mr. Darkness is still there. Though he does look a lot richer than the last time they saw him. Mainly because he has multiple sacks filled with coins, and he was flipping a gold coin when they came through and saw him. Ah, my original customers. What can I do for you?
You still have any crystals?
Let me see. He starts sifting through his bags. Well, I do have this one. It was a light blue crystal. And as Dacius saw it, there was something familiar feeling about it.
How much can I give you for that one?
For this, I'd say I'll give you all a discount since you are my first customers. 500 gold.
Deal.
And his eyes widened for just a second. Dacius could tell that he was trying to rake them over the coals, but he did hand Dacius the crystal, and Dacius hands him the money, and he looks incredibly happy at his new wealth. But Gander then approached, and he took out the scales, Nigel's scales. I'm not sure if this is above your expertise, but would you be able to put these scales into my armor? Mr. Darkness looks. Are you kidding? I used to be a blacksmith before, well, business got a little dicey. So Gander takes off his armor. He hands them to Mr. Darkness. I will need an upfront payment. I gotta see how much scale mail armor is real quick. Here it is. All right. 125 gold. Yeah. All right, deal. And Mr. Darkness just nodded, and he began his work. After a few minutes, he came back up, and Gander looked at his new armor.
Hey, what's your name?
My name?
Yeah.
Well, I don't normally give out my name to strangers, but since you all have been multiple buyers, I suppose I could let you in. The name's Leonard.
Well,
Leonard Darkness.
If I ever get the chance, I'll I'll see if I can make your job a bit easier. But also, do you know anything about this crystal, or know anyone who would?
Well, you see, there was a very odd thing about that crystal. It was very, very strange. It actually appeared right here in this town. It appeared, well, from the sky. I didn't know what to do with it. But from its feel, I would assume it comes from some cold place.
Okay. Thank you. We need to get to the mountain.
Right. Thank you. And Gander dons his new armor, which is now studded with the scales of Nigel. And as they look at him with this armor, they all can see Nigel in that armor. They then leave Leonard. They go back to Ishtar. They climb on, and they fly off. Now, because they do remember the general direction of where the mountain was, it doesn't take them nearly as long to get there. In fact, it did take them about a day, but Ishtar was all fed and ready to go, so he flew all the way there without taking a break. And Dacius also stayed up the entire time to make sure that they got there. And what was odd is he wasn't sure if it was his past memories slightly edging back in his head, and that's how he could remember these directions. But he felt like he knew exactly where to go. Sure enough, as the sun was just coming.
Good Lord.
But this time, they actually made it to, they actually stopped at the top of the mountain. And there, they do see the palace made of ice. And they see that the dwarves are all hard at work.
Oh, look at them go. Good Lord.
They seem, and as they watch their work, it seems that the dwarves are creating blocks of snow, and the gnomes are using their magic in order to solidify it into an ice block. Then the dwarves take those blocks and set them into place, while the gnomes use magic to seal it. And this process continues throughout the entire house.
You know, sometimes I forget how industrious they are.
They truly are hard at work. It's honestly inspiring.
Well, I guess we should get to work too.
And they start walking through. And the dwarves notice Dacius coming up, and, well, they just kind of give smiles and then keep doing their work. However, as they walk inside, that crystal that Dacius just got seemed to glow.
Well, maybe.
Gander was kind of confused, but he decided not to say anything.
All right.
They walked further down. As they made it to the main hall, he sees Curtis standing up on an ice-made podium, barking orders at the dwarves and the gnomes to continue their work. Keep it up, come on then.
Well, what if I don't want to keep it up?
Daisy is.
Oh.
You don't know how much of a dwarf's age I would have given to see you sooner.
You have no idea how much I would have given to be here sooner.
I see that your group is smaller.
Yeah, well, Nigel isn't with us anymore, and Athena stayed at the capital after, well, the king and queen died.
I see. But I'm glad that you all made it here in one piece.
I do have some things I want to talk to you about to you, Kurt.
Why, of course.
All right. First, me and Gander are going to be heading down to Port Nautilus, and from there, hopefully, take down the dragon cult. And, well, I can see you're taking a bit of a leadership position here, but I was wondering if you'd want to come with.
And he looks at all his workers. Well, you know us dwarves. If we don't have someone telling us what to do, then, well, we're as good as ants. Oh, well, you know.
Yeah.
But that is quite a dangerous journey that you're going to embark on. And I don't think I'd be able to live with myself, letting you all go on this alone.
So what do you say?
I think I could find a replacement leader for the time I'm gone.
There we go.
It'll be just like old times.
Yeah. Also, another thing. That old dwarf. I think I might have I think I might have something that'd interest all of you, actually. If you'd have any insight on it, I want Dacius to show him the crystal.
He shows him the crystal, and Curtis stares at it, and he kind of goes silent. And he slowly puts his hands on it. By the gods!
Hey, good God! Hold on.
You all right?
Yeah, one of the dogs came up and took my headset off my head.
Alex, quit it. You, get up here and lie down. Quit. You're not your fucking target. Quit. Alex, put my things on my head. That was me kicking the floor, you stupid. Get up here. Hey. Thank you. Now lie down.
All right.
I think
don't Don't worry, yeah. We're almost done.
Yeah.
All right. So, Curtis, he takes the crystal and he starts running over. See, in the corner there is kind of a chair made of ice, and there sits Durkin, the old dwarf. He doesn't look like he's doing too good. And Curtis runs up. Durkin, could this really be? And Durkin slowly looks down at it, and his eyes widen. He slowly takes his hand and he places it on the crystal. He lifts it closer to his face. Aye. This be her.
Who?
He stands up. You see, celestial spirits are not like us mortals. Whenever they die, the gods reincarnate them into a new body. While they may not retain the memories they had when they were alive, they are still the same spirit. This be Shiva.
I had a feeling.
Follow me.
All right.
He slowly walks over towards one of the corridors that Dacius doesn't remember seeing. It was a very small door. Most of the entrances are fairly large, but this one was very small. They actually had to duck in order to enter it. And once they went through, there was a long hallway. And as they got to the ends, they see a block of ice, but there was some sort of pattern that seemed etched into it. And there was a spot that was shaped just like this crystal.
You take my spot. No, get over there. In your spot.
Durkin walks up. He places the crystal inside. It begins to glow, and as it does, magic appears to seep out of it. And there are lines going throughout this ice block. And the lines begin to fill with a stream of white magic. And then the palace begins to shake. And as it does, all the dwarves stop. And they all go inside. And as our group rush out of that corridor and go back into the main hall, they can see that the palace is rebuilding itself, all on its own. Dacius runs back into the corridor where that crystal is. And as he goes inside, and the crystal is still glowing, a figure emerges. This figure isn't quite the same as the Shiva he remembers. However, though her body is a darker shade of blue, This was indeed Shiva.
Oh my God.
And she stares at him. Hello.
Hello.
What's your name?
Dacius.
Dacius. That's a nice name.
Thank you.
That sounds creepy.
My name is Shiva. She
it's a nice
smiles.
name as well.
That sounds creepy.
And as they both smile at each other, that is where we shall end this session.
Wow.
That was good. Even though it was a shorter session, I think it ended at the perfect spot.
Yeah. Good things.
Yeah, so I do real quick, if you can still stay on for just a little longer. I do want to just give a little bit of behind the scenes.
All right.
So I had this planned for a while. Not like I didn't know how it was going to happen exactly, but the whole celestial spirits reincarnating, I think a character actually mentioned this earlier in the campaign, but I was actually going to have I was going to have both Ifrit and Shiva reincarnate originally. Mm-hmm. And yes, Ifrit does reincarnate, but I'm just going to say it. We will not meet him.
Yeah, because I figured that would be like an Athena thing.
Yes, yeah. It was going to be an Athena thing. Well, it was also going to be a Dacius thing because since they don't retain their memories, it was going to be an interesting thing. But I think with how the story is going, bringing Shiva back, excellent idea. Ifrit will just be he was brought back. And no, he won't be a jerk like he was before. I mean, he'll still be kind of like a hothead, but he won't be nearly as drastic as he was.
Yeah, like burning down everything.
Yeah, I don't know if I should say this because I don't know if it'll actually come up in the campaign. Here, I'll just ask because then I can say if Dacius gets a chance to ask the gods, would he, or like talk to them, would he ask them about why Ifrit did that?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Well, then I will wait until maybe that happens to talk about that. And if it never comes up, then I will explain why Ifrit did that.
All right.
Yep. Well, I know you got to go. So we will end off, and I don't know if you guys will be free tomorrow. I don't know.
Maybe, because it seems like we're having the 4th of July.
Yeah.
Now.
So, well, we'll see. We'll see what's with everyone's schedules and everything. So,
all right.
Yep. So I will talk to you guys later.
All right. See ya.
See ya.